Hello and welcome back to Soul Growth and happy 2026. It is a brand new year and the energy is very different to what it was last year. It's a lot lighter. It feels a lot more giving, a lot more supportive. And I'm excited about this year. I don't feel like I've been excited about a year in quite a while, but it's not like an overhyped, all in my head, jumping around excitement. It's more of a very grounded, quiet knowing. And yes, my human mind is still throwing up questions at times. It's like sometimes I'm in the flow of it and I'm like, yeah, this is it. And then my human comes back online and the flow stops slightly and it starts saying things like, yeah, but we've been here before. All these other years that we've been here and we felt like this was going to be a really great year and it wasn't so great and blah, blah, blah. And in those moments, I have to catch myself and I have to remind myself that not only is this year not the same as past years, not only is the energy of this year different to past years, but also I'm different. I'm not the same person that I was in years gone by, and things get to be different. The things that I see, that I'm shown, that I know, that I'm destined for, they get to come together. And this is the work. So many people think that just because you've been on the path of healing and working on yourself, doing the inner work, all of the things for a certain amount of time, that suddenly there should be no more issues. There should be no more challenges, that your human shouldn't get in the way and that you should just know everything. And that's not what life is about. And it's that misconception that trips so many people up. It keeps them looping. It keeps them stuck. And we're here for more than that. So that also leads me into today's episode, because that misconception also shows up in the way of believing that just because you've been on your career path for however many years, or that just because you've been doing all of this personal development and spiritual work, whatever the thing is for you, both, all of it, that suddenly there should be no more challenges, that everything should just be smooth, everything should just be butterflies and rainbows. And that's absolutely not the case. First of all, we live in a world of duality. You can't have the light without the dark. You can't have the ups without the downs, the good without the bad. Everything it's all relative, and it's also about your perception, yes, your perspective. And when it comes to your career, just because you're destined to do the thing that you're meant to do, just because you've had however much success already, it doesn't mean that you're suddenly exempt from any challenges. Because without challenges, there's no growth. And I don't mean that in the way that your life's got to be really hard or your career has got to be really hard. No, struggle is not the vibe. Drama is not the vibe. But it's understanding that things will come along to test you, and that's just part of the journey. And it's not about what happens to you. It's about how you deal with it. It's about who are you when those things show up. How do you behave? Do you still behave as the person that believes everything always works out for you? Are you still a confident, powerful person when something comes to knock you off track? It doesn't mean that you need to be powerful and switched on 24/7. Again, that's another misconception. It's not realistic. We're human. We have our own seasons. If you're a female, that adds in another set of differentiating factors as well. The point is, it's not just about who you are and who you're being and who you're becoming when everything's going well. It's also about those things when things aren't going as well. And here's something that I'm here to remind you of that a part of you already knows, and that is that your soul growth isn't separate from your success. It's part of it. As I said a moment ago, the challenges are your opportunities for growth. It's like the diamond under pressure. A diamond only becomes a diamond after it's been under excruciating pressure. The people that are the realist in this world are usually the people that have been through shit, and like a phoenix, they've risen from the ashes. It doesn't matter if you're a public figure, a founder, artist, entertainer, influencer, whatever label you use to define your professional role, your soul came here to expand and to evolve, and your career is a vehicle for that growth and expansion. Years ago, I heard someone say something like, starting your own business is the best personal development tool there is. And after almost 18 years in business at this point, I can share with you without a shadow of a doubt that that is 100% accurate. Your career, your business was destined for you, and it chose you long before you ever chose it, long before you ever knew that who you are today, the career that you're in today, is what you wanted to be. If you're a singer and you knew at 3 years old you wanted to be a singer, your soul knew way before that, before you even incarnated onto this planet. It chose you long before you chose it, and it's a playground for your growth. It's like the ideal breeding ground because it tests you in a way that you don't get tested if you're in a job. And if you are in a job, yes, you will still have challenges and experiences that happen to bring your shadows into the light, to help you see where you need to do the work. But if you're running your own business, it's that 10x. It will make you emotional and it will test you. And the times that it does test you are not the times to give up. When it brings up all of your insecurities and your doubts and it makes you question what the hell you're doing, why you should even bother, and maybe you should just fuck it all. So there were two things that come up then. My first thing was, fuck this shit, I'm going to Narnia. And as I said, fuck it all, I heard the Frozen fuck it all version of the song. Don't know if you've heard it. If you haven't, go check it out. It's hilarious. But career, your soul journey, it can have you feeling that way at times. And if it doesn't, you're probably not got a big enough vision, or there's probably somewhere that you need to check in with yourself and ask yourself, is this really what I want to be doing with my life, or am I just playing it safe? Am I just settling? Whatever. When your insecurities and your doubts come up, as I was saying, it's not a time for you to give up. It's not a time for you to fuck off to Narnia or just throw in the towel. It's the time for you to pause and take a step back and look at what's going on beneath the surface. Because the presenting problem is never ever the problem. It's always the symptom of something deeper. And the something deeper is usually connected to some kind of past trauma, some disempowering story you're telling yourself, some past hurt, some past experience that's not active in your memory every day, but it lives in your body. Your nervous system remembers it. And what it's showing you is another layer for you to heal. Let's just say something happens in your career and you feel like you're all alone, nobody cares, nobody gives a shit, whatever. whatever the story is for you, when you dig a little deeper, it's likely that it's connected to you feeling abandoned in your childhood, for example. Or if you're experiencing some backlash online and it's making you feel unsafe at a very deep level, it's very likely that, yes, that could also be connected to something in your childhood. It could also be even deeper than that. It could connect back to a past life. It could be the witch wound. It doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female in this lifetime. There is a collective scar of what is known as the witch wound. And that is from past lives where you were persecuted, where you were killed, literally, after being publicly attacked. And now your present day experience of something happening in public and feeling all of these feelings is just pointing the way, it's just lighting the way to there's some healing work to do here. You can brute force your way through life, through your career using willpower alone, but it's only going to get you so far because it's not sustainable and it's not repeatable. So if you come up against something and you already know that it's connected to something and you already know exactly what that thing is, but you don't want to deal with it, yeah, you can push through it. You can get to the other side. But is that repeatable? Is that a repeatable strategy for sustainable success? No. And your soul and your body are very intelligent, and there'll be times that they'll maybe let you get away with some stuff, but they will not allow you to continually get away with it because that's not what you came here for. The challenges that you experience, the challenges that you overcome, they build your strength and your capacity to be able to hold higher and higher levels of success, hold higher levels of money, of visibility, of being able to lead people. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. If you can't hold the weight of that responsibility, of that level of fame and success, and when I say fame, I don't necessarily mean a public eye in the way of a singer or an actor fame. It could be industry fame within your niche, whatever that looks like for you. If you're not going to be able to hold that, it's unlikely that you'll be able to get there. And for the few that do get there, that discomfort of holding that amount of stuff will lead you one of two ways. Of holding that amount of stuff will challenge you, and that challenge will force you to grow, it will force you to expand. We know, and we've seen many times over, the opposite of that, of people that can't hold that level. There are countless stories of people in the public eye that have shot to a level of fame and success and wealth and haven't been able to hold it. And in a way of trying to cope with it and trying to cope with all of the shadows that come up within them, they turn to external vices. Whether that is drinking, sex, overspending, drugs, whatever dependency, whatever addiction it is, it doesn't matter about the label on it. Break it down, it's all the same thing. An addiction and an attempt to try and fill the void inside. Another way to look at this is when you experience a challenge in your career, if you're willing to walk away and give up at the first hurdle, how do you expect to be able to receive higher levels of success, more money, or visibility, lead others, if you don't have the capacity to hold what you're experiencing? I think I've shared this story with you before, but it feels relevant to now. There's a story in a book that I read years ago, and the analogy that's given is about a child with an ice cream. So parent takes the child into the ice cream shop and the child orders a single cone ice cream. Kid's happy, walking down the street, they drop it. Start crying. Parents are like, okay, let's go back, let's get another one. They go back into the ice cream store and the child sees a triple scoop ice cream. I want that one. The point of the story is, if the child couldn't handle the single cone, why would you set them up to fail with the triple cone? And it's kind of the same with what I'm sharing with you now. If you can't handle the challenges that come at this level of success, how are you going to cope at the higher levels of success when there is more to hold? Your business is a training ground. It's preparing you. It's like preparing your emotional and mental and energetic fitness to make you strong for your next levels of success. And that starts inside of you. It starts with your soul growth, embracing it, allowing it, learning to flow with it, and doing the work. I know that healing and personal growth and spiritual growth and all of the things, they're very popular right now, all over social media. Or maybe that's just my feed, I don't know. But so much of it is surface level. And the surface level will only take you so far. There are no shortcuts. And I know that as you're here listening to this, it is more than likely that you are meant for so much more. It's likely that you're here to impact billions, maybe even to make billions. And you're being prepared to be able to hold that level, or any level in between where you are now and where you're moving towards. Your soul growth is the key to it all. Your soul growth isn't separate from your success. It's part of it. So instead of trying to ignore it, trying to run away from it, or think this shouldn't be happening to me, I'm at this level of my life, I've been doing this work, I've been doing that work, I've been doing this healing and that healing, and whatever the thing is that you're telling yourself, I want to remind you that you are never above soul growth, and your soul will never give you any more than you can handle. It's all been divinely mapped out before you even knew it. And this season, this year, is about surrendering to that truth on an even deeper level. And the more you surrender to it, the more you stop trying to resist it, the quicker you work through it, the deeper you can go, the more embodied in these truths, in these knowing you can become. Because it's not just about knowing this stuff on an intellectual level, it's about it becoming a part of you, and about you living with that, living in that, when it's easy, when it's not, when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're up, when you're down, like in all seasons of you, regardless of what's going on outside of you. That is inner mastery. And that is what you're here for. That is the key to you experiencing a life that feels as internally rich as it looks outwardly impressive. So the next time you find yourself tested in your career, remind yourself of your North Star vision, the vision that has been given to you, whether that is impacting millions or billions. Remind yourself of the truth that it's all soul growth, and that it's here to help you become the person that you need to be able to receive and hold that level of your success. That is all for today's episode. I will be back with you very soon. Until then, big love. Mwah.